Hi, I'm Lauren Leonardo. I'm 23 years old. I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm ready for a whole new look for a whole new chapter in my life. I was 22 years old and living in Hawaii with my boyfriend, and I started experiencing some weird symptoms where just things were not feeling right. I went to the ER because I was unable to breathe, and I was diagnosed with stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had a grapefruit-sized tumor sitting in my chest, as well as a smaller tumor in my left armpit. I received 6 rounds of chemotherapy. As the tumor was growing, it was pushing on my esophagus and my trachea, which was why I was having difficulty breathing, why I was having difficulty swallowing. Once the chemo started working and the tumor started shrinking, it just left behind like this massive hole in my esophagus. I couldn't drink anything, I couldn't eat anything. So their course of action was to just put a feeding tube in me and beat the cancer first. So for just over a year, I had my feeding tube in me and I was unable to eat or drink anything by mouth. Because of the pandemic, I had to be completely isolated at the hospital and could only communicate with my boyfriend through a glass window at the hospital. Just got my scan results back, and I think I'm in remission. A little less than a year later, I received news that I was in remission and I had beat cancer. I struggled and was in a lot of pain for a long time, and just being able to hear that I was healthy was the biggest sigh of relief. On TikTok, I began documenting how I was reintroducing food after a year and a half of not eating. I would show my first glass of water to my first Starbucks drink and finally my mac and cheese burger. My little old Italian grandmother promised me that as soon as I was able to eat again, she would make her family famous pasta and meatballs with her homemade pasta sauce. And as soon as I was able to, I went over to her house and enjoyed it. Being able to share my story to all of these people and inspire so many people is truly what kept me going. And after what has been the craziest year and a half, I recently got engaged, so now I get to start wedding planning. After not being able to eat anything for a year and a half, I have obviously gained weight. I obviously look a little bit different than I did this time last year. And so being able to get a whole new look and a whole new makeover from Tommy DiDario is such a blessing, and I am so excited.
So, Tommy, you need to tell her about the surprise for her.
Okay, so Lauren and I were chatting, and I learned that you're a really big Marvel fan, and there's a certain actress who really helped you during your journey with cancer to channel your own superhero. Well, guess what? I have a special guest who wants to send you a message because she was so touched by your story. Take a look.
Hey, Lauren. I just wanted to say that I've heard your story, and it's just incredibly meaningful to know that the work that I'm doing has in any way helped you get through a very difficult time. That's very, very meaningful for me, and it's very humbling. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm glad that I can share parts of mine, and I wish you a lot of luck and light and happiness.
Yay, Scarlett! She's a real-life superhero. Thank you, Scarlett, so much for doing that for Lauren. Since you guys were also recently engaged, we wanted to help check another little thing off your list. How does a little bit of a honeymoon sound? Not bad.
That would be amazing!
That would be amazing. So we are sending you for 5 nights and 6 days to the Fort Lauderdale Marriott Harbor Beach Resort and Spa, which includes a couples massage, a private 3-course meal on the beach, daily breakfast, $300 resort credit, airfare is included, of course, a total value of almost $4,500. I think it comes in at $4,414. But that's pretty cool, huh?
That's amazing!
Will he be psyched too?
I wish he was here. He's stuck at work right now. I can't wait to tell him.